I'm going to say something that might, well, bother the stock breakout traders. And this is, I'm going to analyze General Motors. And if you are a breakout trader, you're going to struggle a little bit. And you are going to understand why you will be struggling, and probably you will have a loss here. So let's explain why General Motors is doing what it's doing and what we are expecting. And we take a look at the weekly time frame here. We can see on General Motors a very strong rally, okay, made of several candlestick patterns. The bodies are very large. And if we analyze General Motors stock, okay, which is a very important stock, I want to be very clear from the start. I mean, buying shares right now is not a good idea, and I'm going to explain why. So we have here this strong rally, and you can see large candlestick body, even larger candlestick body, larger candlestick body. Okay, price action is telling us, hey, buy. Breakout traders are very, very happy. Okay, now the candlestick body here from last 15 December 2025 shrinks. This candlestick body, it shrinks even further. Now we have bearish price action. Now we have these large bullish wicks. Okay, not too large, but we can see selling pressure. We can see that it cannot close above this resistance level. We have now bearish price action on the weekly, and the weekly price, weekly candle just started. Okay, so after a very strong rally, we can see signs of the stock stalling a little bit, losing steam momentum, and this is what we are expecting. The first stop will be around $72 more or less per share for General Motors. So as you will know, this is not happening because of news, because of earnings. And the next earnings release for General Motors stock will be on the 27th of January. Let's see what happens. The previous ones, well, this one was positive, it rallied, positive, it rallied, positive, it rallied, positive, it dropped, positive, it rallied, positive, it rallied a little bit, positive, it dropped. You cannot trust earnings releases, okay? If you're using smaller time frames, obviously, for short-term scalping, intraday stock trading, okay. Stay away. Before, prior to, during, and after news, just let the storm pass. But not when you're using the bigger time frame. It doesn't really care about earnings, okay? Everything is priced in the market, and whoever wants to argue that, I'm here, okay? It's always like that. Price drops out here, negative news, price rallies. Almost always. Okay, so we still have to see that. Okay, so probably if this happens, it will probably happen. This earnings release on General Motors will happen before. Well, it's just in a week, more or less. Okay, I don't think General Motors are going to drop down there in a week. Very, very unlikely. Okay, so this is what happen. One more candlestick like this, 1.5 earnings release. Positive news, always positive news probably, and then price will start to drop. And you will ask yourself, why did General Motors drop? Why is it dropping if it was positive? Well, not because of what the earnings release for this particular stock said, but because it is overextended after a strong rally with signs of bearish price action and losing steam and momentum. We are expecting this on this particular stock, regardless of what the earnings release say. It's just irrelevant. Okay, so General Motors will not drop because of news or because of earnings or a rally. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, but probably it's going to drop. Okay, and definitely not because of what analysts say on TV or the media. Okay, I'm focused only on price action, supply and demand, and we are expecting this in the following weeks. And the bigger time frames is where the big money, okay, the real money is made. So the problem with buying share of GM or General Motors stock right now is that from a supply and demand perspective, price now overextended, and we're expecting this on the smaller time frame like the daily. We can see now several candlesticks here showing losing a loss of momentum, and if these lows are broken, it's going to drop here and probably will react a little bit, and then it will continue dropping farther to this area of demand on the weekly. This is not the weekly time frame, but it's the daily, but it's seen through the daily time frame. Okay, that's what we are expecting on the daily time frame for General Motors stock. So the key areas of demand are here, down there, and then the following one right there. So these are the two areas where we could start buying. So when price drops down there, we should pay attention to the monthly time frame, okay? Because there is a larger demand level down there, okay? And if you thought that the weekly price action was overextended after such a strong rally, if you take a look at the monthly, it's even worse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candlesticks. So after a very strong rally, you can see now that the candlestick is losing momentum. It's still like 12 days left for that monthly candle to close. So this could become another large body. Okay, I doubt it. So after that, we are expecting this here, probably a little bit, and eventually it will do this. Okay, so we'll see what happens on General Motors, but those are the two key levels for now. So until price reaches one of these levels, we won't know what's going on in the monthly. We need to check the monthly, but after a very strong rally, we should never buy. Okay, we could prepare ourselves for bearish option strategies, stock strategies, for swing, okay, like medium term, because this could take a few weeks to drop. So smart money buys wholesale and retail traders buy retail. So this is patience. So we need to wait for price to drop down there. Right now, buying with the expectation of this stock or General Motors trading right now at $81 more or less. It's not a good idea. It's better to buy down there. There's still room for price to drop about 10%. So buying with the expectation on this, of the stock to do this, well, it's not a good idea. But if you only look at the smaller time frames on the 1 hour, for example, on the daily, it's like, why this is now printing highs, and now a low, and now a high, and now a low, and now a low. I mean, this is like you're having a heart attack. Right? So you need to move away and look at the bigger picture. Okay? And this is where General Motors is telling us, hey, I'm going to drop down there. My friend, don't buy. Do not buy now in January 2026 General Motors shares, because it's not a good idea. So this is what we are expecting. Trading, especially long-term swing and stock trading, is the art of waiting, unless you are doing breakout trading, stock trading. If you did there, you're going to have a loss, almost for sure. So stock trading, breakout trading after a very strong rally, not a good idea. So if General Motors stock drops into that weekly or monthly demand level, then we can start thinking of going long, buying shares, bullish option strategies for intraday, swing, and even longer term. Okay, so if someone really wants to exposure to GM, okay, stock right now, options strategies is the way to go. Okay, it makes more sense than buying shares outright right now. Okay, why? Because there's defined risk, as you already know, with options, ability to benefit from consolidation or pullbacks. Here you could also use all kind of strategies to get premium, sell premium, but I'm not gonna enter into those details. You should know what to do there. I'm just talking about price action, prediction, and forecast for General Motors GM stock. And this is what we are expecting. Let's see, because this is what usually happens, but we are talking about what usually happens and not what will happen. Okay. So summarizing, we are expecting price to drop down there as a first stop. Buying shares now is high risk. Okay. Low reward. Supply demand favors a correction and not a continuation. And the next stop here at the 72 level, and then probably at the 60 level if this one doesn't hold. Okay, so remember, the market pays the patient and not the emotional trader. If you like this video, click on the like button and subscribe to my channel, because you're going to see many other analysis, and probably you might hopefully prevent you from making or taking or having unnecessary losses.